So we got Biden, and any of you guys watch the speech? I'll sum it up for you. So he looks at what's going on in Russia, and he basically just went full Big Lebowski, and he was like, this aggression won't stand, man. That's it. It was just a whole speech of, we're not going to stand for this aggression. And then just to sum up the speech, he was like, let me be clear. If you think you can escalate things, we'll really fucking escalate things. We're gonna sanction you guys, and then just hopefully you'll be nice and you won't, like, hack us or whatever. That's the crazy thing, is that Russia can still hack us. Like, we're just pretending, you know what I mean? Like, they hacked us when we weren't at war. We're just pretending like we're gonna get away with sanctions. All right, so then to dig into the speech a little bit, just because this is how full of nonsense Biden is. So this was one of his lines, and I want to be clear, the next few weeks and months will be hard on the people of Ukraine. Putin has unleashed a great pain on them, but the Ukrainian people have known 30 years of independence, and they have repeatedly shown that they will not tolerate anyone who tries to take their country backwards. So this is always like Biden's thing. Like, he's always talking to, like, the soul of the nation. It's always like this gibberish, like the heart and soul. And in this case, he's saying that they just won't tolerate it, which is almost like if you had a fighter who was about to go fight. You guys know Francis Ngannou? He's the heavyweight champion in the UFC. So you're about to go, you got a fighter, and he's about to go fight Francis Ngannou, but your fighter looks like this. And Biden's like, listen, you got something that Francis guy does. You have heart and soul, kid. He doesn't stand a chance with your soul. And then you get in there, and that's what happens, just instantly. Like, because obviously, right? And yeah, good luck, Ukraine. I mean, they're 3 days in, they're holding up, but it's not going to work out. And then, all right, so they go to the section where they start asking questions. And we know Biden, he's not good with questions. That's not his specialty. He's like, listen, I can pretend to read a teleprompter. That I can do. But questions, he starts to fumble. So one of the questions was, thank you, sir. Sanctions clearly have not been enough to deter Vladimir Putin to this point. What is going to stop him? How and when does this end? And do you see him trying to go beyond Ukraine? And so Biden responds to this. First, he starts, and by the way, because he always is question one, question two, I'm kind of abridging here. So to that question, he said, no one expected the sanctions to prevent anything from happening. So the sanctions, yeah, I mean, there it is. So for starters, he's going with the COVID thing. Hey, we never said it wasn't going to get you sick. You know what I mean? This is the vaccine thing all over. It's like, hey, yeah, we never said the vaccine was going to prevent anything. And then also, if we didn't expect sanctions to prevent anything from happening, so what, we're going to go more with the strategy that doesn't work? Like, that's what you're saying. Hey, we got a non-working strategy, so we're going to do more of it. And I think the problem with, we've been sanctioning Russia forever. You know what I mean? Like, do you think, this to me is like, you guys remember that scene in Dumb and Dumber when they walk into the apartment and the apartment's just like filled with worms? They're like, hey, you want to trash the place? And they're like, I don't think he'll get the message. That's Putin. He's been fucking training for this shit. Putin, we've been sanctioning Putin forever. He does not care. All right. And so the next part that I want to point out on this is that he's talking about that in order for the sanctions to work, it's going to take time. It's not going to occur. He's going to say, oh my God, these sanctions are coming. I'm going to stand down. He's going to test the resolve of the West to see if we stay together, and we will impose significant costs on him. The other line, by the way, I'm skipping around here a little bit, but he said what's coming so the people of Russia know what he's brought on them, which, how terrible is it? So we're going to punish the people of Russia? Like, what does that do? So, like, the people are, you know what? Okay, but real thing I want to point out here is he's saying that this is going to take time. Next question comes from the guy who looks like a worm over at Fox News. Here's when the next slide's supposed to come up. And by the way, for this guy is Biden's kryptonite, just because, like, he's calm, is not an alpha dude, and asks questions. That's all it takes, is a calm guy asking questions. So he asks, and this, once again, I'm abridging, how economically painful is it going to get for people in this country? And then he goes, the notion that this is going to last for a long time is highly unlikely. So it just took two questions. That's all it took. Was first question was, hey, listen, it's going to take a long time for this to work. Next question, don't worry, it's not going to be a long time. So Biden's defense strategy is essentially when you're trying to have sex with someone you like for the first time, and it takes a long time to get there and doesn't last a long time.